All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Awaken Wednesdays. My name is Leo, and today we're finally going to be wrapping up our quest down the tarot. You guys know how much I love it. If you guys have been keeping up with me in the last few episodes, I went into major deep dives into the major and the minor arcana of the tarot. And today I am so happy to announce we have our guest, Rachel, with us. We're having a discussion today about the tarot. But before we get into that, I want to get into as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the Twitch. Don't forget to also whisper us on there if you subscribe to us because of a video you watched that involved me. It would be great if you give me a mention. It really helps me out. Don't forget to also join the Discord. It would be great to be able to get to talk to you guys and the community. And lastly, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at What's the Play app. You can also follow me on Instagram at Leeboy_927. And if you like Rachel's stuff, you can also follow her on Instagram at RayKill. All right. So, Rachel, it's so great to have you on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yeah, I can hear you. It's so great to have you on the show, Rachel. If you can you give us a little information about yourself? You know, your spiritual journey, where it is that you're going right now.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I actually started young as a child. I was raised Catholic in a very strict Catholic family, private school and all, and just kind of honed into different feelings and experiences that I had and dabbled a little bit into tarot, not very much, but I am excited to play with you today.
Yeah, it's so great that I get to have you on here. One of the questions that I actually had for you is, I know that you were skimming through some of the past videos. If you could actually tell me something, what were some of the things that you learned in this,
From you,
if anything at all?
in in general,
Yeah.
so much. Like I was telling you before, it's kind of hard. I do have two kids, so listening to you and learning how the different cards and their meanings, and that even though there are a lot of different cards, there are different their meanings. If you have two of the same, they're always going to be a double, like a quest.
Right, right. 100%. That's what I kind of try and show is the duality of things, how there's always kind of like a match, like a partner or a puzzle piece that's always being connected. And that's something similar with the tarot is you'll notice that it's like a storybook that you create.
I enjoy that. It's true.
So and another thing, I know we talked a little bit before the stream, but we both understood and agreed that we wanted to share our messages with our listeners here and let them know that our practices, though Hollywood may have demonized these things that we practice, this is a practice that comes from love and light and not some you know dark otherworldly being, whether it be the devil, Lucifer, or anything like that.
Never, ever, ever would ever do anything like that.
Hey,
That's
we
true.
we come from a place where we are trying to, I guess, bring in love and light to this what I kind of consider to be a dark time right now, because as we know right now with the global pandemic and whatnot, you really need to cling on to the light in it. Try and find that silver lining. Let's see. Oh, when we were talking over the phone just before we started, you were mentioning something about some personal stories about the tarot. You've gotten readings done before, correct?
Have, and I enjoy getting readings just because I'm so fascinated and I'm trying to understand more about the deck and the cards and how to have them more into my life personally. So I had a girlfriend who has friend that does tarot, and she pulled a card, and I have the card.
If you can you bring it up and show it for us? Perfect. So that, if you guys were with us before, that is the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands, this is something that is very prevalent in one's journey when it comes to success. When it comes to success, it's never easy. You are going to be able to find your way through these bad times as well as the good, but just know that you are going to get some, some bumps, some bruises, or a scar or two. But all of that is so that way we can learn from ourselves.
And it's really special to me. It was during actually the first week of quarantine I got this card.
Okay. That one was good. All right, there we go. Minor technical difficulty. Fixed it. All right. Can you hear me, Rachel?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right, so where was it that we left off with? Right, the story with your friend. It was right. You got this message right before quarantine.
Right, right. The first week of quarantine. So, I do hair, and having my girls and out of school was a big challenge, losing pretty much my job, and then having to become a at-home teacher. So this card really meant a lot to me.
That's amazing. And how is it that you have been, kind of persevering through this? Because I already feel the strong energy, you just wanting to keep moving forward. I don't see the quitter in you. I see the motivated entrepreneur that you are. So I'm wondering, what is your secret?
Well, I'm very technical, not savvy. So if everybody of my friends know that, and doing homeschooling really wasn't working online for the kids, so I decided to do my own thing and start foraging in the forest and teaching them at home medications and different things that you can eat that are edible, that you can, live off the land.
That is amazing. It's kind of sad, especially where it is that I'm from, because I'm in Southern California, where all you see for miles is nothing but cityscapes and skyscrapers, etc. I can't think of one person that knows how to go camping and being able to survive off the land.
Yeah, and that's really, really sad. I do appreciate my father for teaching me that.
And I remember earlier as well, we were discussing something about the vortices around the world. For some of our listeners that may not know about vortexes or vortices, is that they are energy points around the world, and they can have either close connections to some of our past life energies or other parts of the world. And we were discussing one that was in where was it? It was in Tucson, you mentioned?
Oh gosh, there's so many. We were talking about Sedona and the one
Sedona,
Arizona. I got my cards read there once as well, and an energy cleansing. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's. I recall when I went to my first vortex, unknowingly, I was in Alaska, and Alaska. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's like nothing I at least have ever experienced before. But like I said, I'm a city boy. I've hardly ever been outside of Southern California. But the energy that you feel there is so it's almost so gyrating and otherworldly that I can't imagine what it's like over in Sedona.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Just all the spiritual experiences that you have there is just so cleansing and just makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Makes
You did. I'm sorry. One more time. You cut out there.
Loving the earth.
Right. And again, that goes back to our practice is we are, we're not here like sacrificing babies or the the goats or whatever. We are here to love and respect what Mother Earth has given us. We're here to love and respect what it is that has been provided and not
You,
take advantage of it.
yep, you never take more than what you need.
Exactly. Never take more than what you need. Leave a place better than how you found it.
Exactly. 100%.
So you did mention while you were in Sedona that you had a reading there. Do you want to go into a little bit more detail what it was like?
It was a kind of like a package. So it was a very quick reading.
Okay.
She did a chakra cleanse, and then she read my aura, which was pretty interesting. And I knew a little bit and had felt already what my aura might have had produced.
Hmm.
And the one reading out there was just very eye opening, and my first time going back to Sedona since I was a child, and I decided to do this, and it was telling me that my path had two different ways, and to kind of check it out. And that's when I started getting back into a little bit of the tarot, but more into crystal healing.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, that's something else that I'm really interested in discussing with you, but we may have to save it for another time. Is talking about crystals, auras, and chakras and how they resonate together. I'm super excited to start talking about that.
Yeah, and the one
So,
thing I did learn is the death card does not mean death.
right, as many people they know the tarot only because of that one card. Isn't that the funniest thing? You think tarot, and some of these people that have never had gotten their cards read before, the first thing they think of is the death card.
Yeah, I pulled
And
that just now.
really, and when in actuality, the death card is something that it could be a beautiful experience because it represents the ending of a situation, and more times than not, it's the end of a situation that no longer serves you. It is
And
something
so,
that you no longer need in your life.
yep.
So, yeah, and I know we are talking about a lot of the goods and the positive things of the tarot. But another thing I did want to bring up as well, like bad experiences with readings. Have you ever had like a negative experience when you have, uh, communed with a psychic or in a spiritual place?
Me personally, never, never. But I did. It was pretty amazing. I had my girlfriends and I were out in California on a vacation, and we decided to walk into a shop with a psychic shop, and the air was thick, like bad, like you could barely breathe. And
Oh,
we were just like, ooh, this is just weird. And my one girlfriend asked if any of us wanted to, we should get a reading. And I was like, I don't know. There's something bad in here. We split apart, and the area started dissipating, the heaviness. And
okay.
I decided to get a reading, and the woman had thanked us for coming in because prior to that there was another guest in there that had gotten a reading. She did not like her reading, demanded another reading by the manager. The manager was saying the same exact things. The woman did not like it, decided not to pay for her services, and stormed out. And I guess that was right before we walked in.
Mm.
I
See
had
that
a great reading.
that oh that's amazing. See
Yeah.
it now that actually reminds me of an experience I had. So when I actually first started uh, doing readings professionally, I was in a store in Southern California where I live now, and we had this whole we called it a holistic fair, and it went on all day. We had discounted readings, healings, the chakra, the aura cleansings, all that fun stuff. So I was designated at the area where you do tarot readings, and I had uh, I was actually the only tarot reader there. The rest of them called out sick, and that was why I was called in. And I knew at that moment, at that point, synchronicity fell just just flew through the roof. Was that both of the readers that read tarot fell ill, and I got the call last minute. We need a tarot reader to come in. I
It was
go
meant to
in,
be.
and it was completely meant to be. All day, I did not get a single reading, and I kind of figured, okay, this is, I don't know, kind of like a hazing thing from spirit or from just the energy of the store was just okay. It's your first time. This is just like a joke sort of thing. The whole day goes on. I don't get a session at all. A lot of the people are starting to pack their stuff up. Some of the girls that were reading already left. And something to keep in mind, I'm the only guy that is in the store as a reader. This uh
And you
this one this one woman comes in, and she's talking to all of the readers, kind of like getting a vibe. And at this point, a lot of them have left. And I think all that's left is me and the owner of the store, who's a very gifted psychic medium. So, but at the time, she, I believe, was already in a reading, so she couldn't talk with the owner. So, in a sense, she was stuck with me, and she was super reluctant, but she just settled. She just said, "Okay, fine, I will get the reading." So we go into the back, we do the reading, and all seemed fine from the beginning. But as soon as I get to the end, she was very judgmental. She did not believe a word I said. She called me a liar, a poser, all these nasty words. And she refused, and she even said, "I can't believe I paid for this session." Now, I myself, I hold this very close to my heart because no one likes to be called a poser or a liar. And I actually had
understand.
not, I had not actually charged her yet, because one of my rules as a reader, I do not accept payment until the session is over and it is a sufficient acceptable reading. So eventually she comes out, the owner is finished with her reading as well, and the woman starts complaining to the owner, something very similar to what you were saying. She gets the reading, and I was kind of being a little naughty, and I was eavesdropping just a little bit, and she was saying nearly identically what I had placed in front of her when it came to the cards and the reading. And the woman storms out, doesn't pay for the reading, and the funny thing at the end is she continuously calls the store to get another reading. She did that for a whole month, and then we finally had to block her because she was harassing us. She would not stop calling, and she would just say these nasty, nasty things.
That is unacceptable. You That's your livelihood.
Exactly, and it hurts when people say that. Some of the things that you have to understand as well is when you get a reading, a lot of people, they may not know this, is that the reader, they may not be 100% right all the time. They are only human. And as well, the communication, it's a two-way street. You as the client, you need to be open with it. You need to be completely open.
100%. That's just so
Yeah,
rude. That's bad.
it is indeed. Um, so I have to ask more as well. What other modalities of practices do you do? Because I know you said that you're learning more about the tarot, just a little bit here and there. But is there anything that you consider yourself to be, more proficient in? Do you consider yourself to be a master of anything?
Oh gosh, no. I am a jack of all trade, a master of none. I like to.
Okay, I like that. I consider myself almost the same.
No,
But do you think you can probably tell us more? Because I would love to hear more of what it is that you hold dear to your practitioner.
so I'm definitely feel, and I've been told this, I am a healer
Okay.
with my hands, my touch, and also with things. I have practiced some more apothecarium medicine. Sorry. Um, so I do that. I do a lot of crystal. I dabble a lot in crystals. Crystals are probably my strong point in healing as well.
Rachel, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Do you think you could bring yourself closer to the center of the perfect? I see your beautiful face.
I dabble in a lot of things, a lot of different things. I'm pretty pagan. I would probably consider myself. I believe in a lot of. I enjoy religions, so I can't just say that. I'm also somewhat, I would say, Christian because that's what I was raised.
Right.
Or Catholic, which is a very kind of pagan. Sorry if I offend anyone. It's a pagan Christianity.
Oh, it is. A lot of the Christian faith actually, as we know, originated from a lot of pagan practices.
Like the upside down cross, the cross of Peter. That has nothing to do with the Antichrist. That was because he didn't feel that he was spiritually divine enough to be crucified the same way as Jesus. And these satanic people have made it into, or cultists have made it into, a bad symbol.
It is, and every time I see it in Hollywood or any film whatsoever, or people just using it incorrectly, I just kind of die a little inside.
Wow.
But dude, there was a question I was going to ask you as well. Oh yeah, with the healings, with your modality of healing, is there a specific one you practice, or is it your own craft?
I do have lots of books. I've read lots and lots of things on crystal healings. Doreen Virtue, she's a PhD in crystal healing. I love reading her books.
Now, do you know about what happened with Doreen Virtue, like a while ago?
No, what happened?
But I don't know if you knew this. She actually sold out, and she retconned a lot of her stuff.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it happened roughly a year ago. She retconned a lot of things that didn't involve like Jesus or God in a way. She became a born again Christian, and she completely just, you can't buy her books or her cards anymore. It's really strange. Everyone that's watching, if you know Doreen Virtue, I would give it a look there, because there was definitely some drama that went on there. But going back to, oh, sorry, what was that?
Don't believe just because you are a born again Christian that you have to denounce any kind of earthly beliefs.
Right, I agree 100%.
That's so sickening.
So, moving back a little bit, do you think that there's a negative stigma attached to any of your beliefs that you've encountered yourself?
Oh, 100%. All my life I've had to kind of shelter pretty much my beliefs and what I felt and practices. I've never been really able to be out, and it wasn't until, which is sad, social media, where I started learning that there were more people like me. I mean,
yeah, it's a great way to connect with, with your people. I know for myself, I had no clue what I was doing until I found my social groups.
Yeah.
Of other witches, of other pagans.
Yeah. And it just made me feel like, okay, I'm not some kind of weirdo.
Right. Do you have any specific stories at all where you had to I don't know, I guess like hide yourself, or either or someone called you out or you had to correct someone?
Lots of times actually. When I was younger in school, my parents were trying to sell their house, and in my closet, I had an altar.
Okay.
The and my closet was always closed
Mm.
when
For and so for our listeners, if you don't know what an altar is, it is a sacred space to worship whatever deity you may believe in, or a place that you can harness your own energies. I just wanted to put that out real quick.
you. So I would have that out, or it would be in my closet, and I had it shut. And one of the realtors had opened my closet and
Mhm.
said that my parents, well, I needed to take that down due to possible satanic activities in my room.
Really?
Oh, okay. Satanic. Okay. That's pretty amazing. I'm definitely not satanic. And then just recently on Facebook, I did get into a little tiff. It was funny. By all means, I am not racist at all, but my girlfriend had pretty much underhandedly called me racist. And I had said something about taking away holidays, Columbus, President's Day, Martin Luther King days, and we can only practice pagan holidays, Christmas, Easter, Valentine's, Halloween. And she called me satanic, and
Huh.
I lost my shit.
I'm wondering how it is that that then
It was
is racist, like in any way.
that.
Oh shoot, hang on. I think I'm losing you here. One second. Okay, perfect. All right, there we fixed it. Sorry guys, just little technical difficulties there.
I was gonna say, I'm getting some kind of crazy weather starting up over here. The
Oh
clouds are
really?
rolling in.
Oh okay.
Yes.
Hopefully that's not going to be too much of an issue. But what? So your girlfriend called you satanic and racist?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
I'm wondering where it is that the race comes in then, because I can get it
Uh,
if it's like xenophobia or something like that, something that they don't understand, and thus it's xenophobic, but that's not
I
being
had signed.
racist.
I signed a petition on keeping the John Wayne Airport.
Okay. I I didn't know that there was a petition for that actually.
Yeah, it was something on Facebook.
All right, that's something I'm gonna have to look into then, because that's just right around the corner from where I live, basically.
What I grew up with. It's always
All
been
right, it's always been the John Wayne Airport. But let's so moving on from that, and we're still going to I want to bring it back into the topic of tarot. The so some of the more negative experiences. Have you ever uh had a reading where you just didn't vibe with it at all? Maybe you felt like the person just wasn't on their A game, or you felt like maybe someone was trying to swindle you in any way?
No, actually, I have to say I've never had a bad experience on tarot at all. Um, I've had a funny experience where I feel that we were at a fair, and my
Hmm.
girlfriend was getting her cards read, and I was just right outside the tent, sitting because I was like pregnant and hot, and I unfortunately was a bad girl, and I was ear hustling the tarot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, you did the same thing I did.
Fully did, and the one was reading me, not my friend.
Oh, okay. It's funny that that's something that is actually very common to happen. Because you see, with some readers, and this has happened to me as well when I was doing readings over at the store, I had a mother-daughter couple come in, and they both wanted to get sessions with me. So they sat down and I started reading for the mother, and everything that I was saying was just off, wrong, no. And but everything that I was saying actually was totally relatable for the daughter. So
That's amazing.
what I had, and I hated to do this because I felt like I wasn't being inclusive enough, but I told the mom, I asked her, "Can you step out right now? I'm connecting with your daughter. I'll finish up her reading, and then when you come in, I'll go over the time limit for you, and I'll only charge you for a 30-minute reading, but I'll read you for 45 minutes or something like that." So
That is
it
so
definitely is possible for you to, if you have other people around you, because you're opening yourself up to energy, and it's not even just the person that's in front of you, it is all energy around you.
I have another thing that I need to tell you, and I totally forgot about this. And this was probably my very first card reading.
Okay.
My girlfriend, Michelle, her mom is from the Philippines, and she read playing cards.
Oh, okay, I've heard about this.
She read my playing cards. She told me I was pregnant.
And were you pregnant then, or were you going to soon be pregnant?
Uh, Not by choice, accidentally, and yes, I was.
Oh, okay.
Did not know.
Really?
I took a test after.
So it was just right after the reading that you had taken. Wow,
Took the test after I got my playing cards, just a regular deck of cards read to
a
me.
trip. That's a trip. It's those stories that I love to live for. When I hear these stories of just like these amazing feats of psychic work that are
She's
coming up.
and she was taught that back home. It was pretty amazing. Michelle's mom still does it. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That is super rad.
I haven't said
All
that.
right. Along with that, are there any other? I know I keep asking you. Are there any other practices that you do? I know you said you were a phenomenal healer, and I believe it. I see the energy around you, even through the TV, through the monitors. But
Well,
do you do any readings? Are there anything else that you practice? I know you said something about apothecary.
I do a little bit of that apothecary. I do have a garden going with different herbs and stuff like that, medicinal and edible. Um, so I definitely use the earth as much as I can.
That's awesome.
And it's really hard out here in Vegas, trust me.
Oh, I can imagine. Well, it's a desert, no matter where you look.
Uh huh.
I, I've been all over Nevada for the most part. Summerlin, actual Las Vegas, Henderson, Green Valley.
Yeah,
Contrary
it is a
contrary to
desert out.
popular belief that Nevada isn't just Las Vegas.
Yeah, yeah. Thank God. Thank you for
Right.
goodness. No, but that's pretty much it. I've tried dabbling in the Ouija board practicing, and
Oh, okay.
it's not very. I'm not very. I can't do that as much as I've tried.
Why do you say you can't do it?
I don't feel that I am strong enough to really gravitate someone to pull into the Ouija. They manifest by themselves around me, but
Hmm.
when I want them to play with me, they don't.
That's super interesting because I know one of my friends who's a very powerful medium. Anytime they use what I call a tool or like tools of the trade, it doesn't work for them. And normally, when we use tools in our work or mediumship work, it tends to help. But for them, it actually hinders them. They are way better at just being this clear channel.
And I might be one of those. It doesn't. Yeah, they don't like me.
I don't think it's so much that they don't like it. It's just that they prefer to use it from the source. They prefer you be the complete source energy and relay for their communication.
Yeah.
Because I always see it when it comes to mediumship, and I know I'm going to get into this at a in another series on the show, is with mediums and the difference between them and psychics is mediums, as we actually are raising our vibration outwards, all around us, and we are trying to connect to spirit. We are trying to connect to spirit, and as we're pushing our energy out, they're actually lowering their vibration, and that's where we meet in the middle. It's kind of like a radio frequency,
Yeah, that I
if
feel
you will.
Sedona.
What was that about Sedona?
Feel the strongest for that in the Sedona.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I remember when I was in Alaska and I stumbled upon that vortex. I could feel the seasons change around me. I could hear the whisper of the trees, and I just felt history around me, almost like I could feel the settlers or the natives that were in the area years, centuries prior.
I love that feeling.
It's amazing. I wish I could go back and do it. I really need to make a trip to Sedona.
You do. You do.
Yeah. So I do recall, actually, now that I recall when we were talking, not the last time, but when we were talking with Steven, you mentioned something about candle wax readings, and that's something I have never heard before.
Yes,
So
I
I'm wondering if
it
you
was
could
kind of
give us a little insight on that.
oh I did it when I was younger, when I got really into um when I started really honing in. It was before there was a certain birthday where I felt really strong. It's funny, certain birthdays I feel stronger, certain earth years
Okay.
feel stronger. And
And that's totally acceptable too, because you have to take into account where the stars are, where are the planets, the moon, the sun, what signs are they going into, and that's going into a whole other practice of astrology, which I know I'm going to get into here a lot here and there, and I promise that I'll try my best to explain the meanings behind them. But continuing your story, sorry.
that I started doing tea leaves, and there was a girl that I worked with when I lived back in California at Disneyland, and she did candle wax drippings in a cup. And when she did it, she would ask me what I would see, and I would tell her, and she said yes. So she started. That was probably the only kind of introduction was through her, and teachings was through her, and it wasn't very long that she taught me this, um, because there were some bad people that were at Disneyland that were like not, I would have to say, dabbled in black magic, and
Mm.
like,
It's so sad to think about, because I know I didn't want to get into it on the show just with that whole aspect of what's going on in the world with Hollywood, but it even Disney, they dabble in that. Like I said though, I don't want to get into it because it's very controversial.
so she taught me how, from working there, taught me how to read candle wax drippings off
Hmm.
in holy water. It has to be blessed water.
Got it. Okay.
It works better in blessed water than it does in regular tap water, or at least where you use your crystals to purify the water and cleanse it, then you can do it as well.
Okay, so even using like if you make moon water as well.
Yes.
Okay, got it. And for those of you who don't know what moon water is, it's essentially water you keep out, and you let it sit in the full moon, and it essentially charges the water, and it's something very similar to holy water.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
great. It's great for cleansing, banishing, and even protecting your space.
everything. Yes. I
So that's super interesting. So the way I'm assuming it works is something very similar then to tea leaves, where you you drink the tea and the residual leaves then create certain shapes which mean certain which give off certain messages. I'm assuming that's something that's very similar, but you don't want to drink the water.
yeah. Ooh, probably not. Probably not. That'd be really gross. Unless it was like, I mean, maybe if it was natural candle wax.
Maybe if it was what do I want to call it, like was it like beeswax,
Wax. A soy wax.
soy wax as well. Yeah, I believe that's digestible. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna be honest. Don't
Yeah.
do not eat soy wax, everyone.
Please.
Do not eat candles. That's super interesting. I know I'm gonna have to look into that because I would love to do a segment on that for the show. 100%.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah, all right. I think for the most part, that's about as much as I wanted to do as far as the discussion goes. But I know you said how much you love to get your cards read, and I actually wanted to do a reading for you over the show. Is that all right?
It's totally fine.
Awesome. So I'm gonna actually grab my cards here. And if I'm aware, you have a deck of cards, correct? Hi, because you said that you dabbled in the tarot for a while, so I'm assuming you have a tarot deck.
I do.
Perfect. All right. So before we get started, what I just want you to do, I just want you to say your name for me 3 times so we can get the energy flowing here. All right?
Rachel. Rachel. Rachel.
Okay. So now we got the energy all up in here. I'm just going to do a very simple 3-card spread here. All right. So this is very interesting because what I have here, I have 2 kings and a 9. I have the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, as well as the 9 of Pentacles. So this, from what I'm feeling, as far as in your past goes, you have gone through a lot of spiritual, emotional, and mental development. And I keep seeing that it's interesting because I see a steady uprising and then a very sudden decline in your mental just in your mental health. Would that make sense? I keep seeing that around like your teens, probably like early 20s.
Yep.
I also see something about having to kick addiction. Would that make sense as well?
Yes.
Okay. And with that, I see it's as if you've grown from that. I see a symbol of a phoenix. And I picture you as that. I picture you as the phoenix rising up from the ashes, creating something even more spectacular. And that's where we have the King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles, this here is showing me um, a lot of what I see is like rooted, being rooted and stable with where it is that you are, feeling content. However, I see it's as if that you are also kind of scared to get out of your yes, that card exactly. Twins, actually. We have the same card. We have the same deck. That's so cute. Um, as I'm looking at the King of Pentacles, I keep seeing a picture of roots coming from his feet, and that's where I'm seeing you, as if I feel like I'm repeating myself. Being content in where it is that you are, but also being afraid of being able to go further than that. Would that make sense? What was
Yep.
that? Sorry, you were cutting out there. Yeah? Okay. I'm also seeing as well, ooh, I feel like that there someone that you're talking to right now in a possible romantic way? A romantic
Maybe.
partner? Maybe? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I promise I won't go too far into that if you don't want me to.
Yeah. Shut up, Steven.
our, our producer's butting in now.
Uh-huh.
All right. So now finally we have the last card, and it's the Nine of Pentacles. This is what I'm actually seeing. I keep hearing gratification, sufficiency, and satisfaction. And I see this as being able to I keep hearing uphold your strong values and upholding a family.
Okay.
I definitely see a lot of growth, and I keep seeing us. I keep hearing small business with a bang,
Oh, I
if
like
that makes
that.
sense. I keep hearing you having a small business with a bang. I keep seeing lines of people. I keep seeing good clientele. I see money coming in, and I'm seeing some. Uh, I just keep seeing monetary satisfaction.
Finally, I found her.
Ha! There it is. There it is. You'll notice one thing that's striking out to me is the bird that is on her hand. If you can actually hold that up one more time so the audience can see it, you'll notice the bird on the hand there. And this is what I'm seeing as a symbol of family, a symbol of and a connection to nature. I'm seeing it as if that she has this huge connection to her passion. Her passion is what it is that she works for, and it just so happens to be what it is that she loves. And when you combine both work and love, you never work a day in your life. With
True.
that as well, again, the pentacles that are drawn around it, this is what I'm actually seeing again as family, but I'm seeing as if like I keep seeing the quantity and the sanctity of family. I keep seeing family values, if that makes sense.
100%.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm drawn to doing one more card right now,
Of course you
and
are.
I'm seeing that I'm drawn to one more card right now, and it's the Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands, this is actually what I'm seeing as something that influences you. And like I said before, in the minor arcana, the Ace of Wands is the seed to an idea, the seed of passion, and it's that word again, passion. When we're doing something without passion, what's the point of doing it at all? It's almost as if you're gonna half-ass it or you're just gonna fuck it up completely. And
Yeah.
this is what I'm seeing. This is what drives you. It's passion. And it's not and I see as well, it's not just passion for yourself, it's passion for those around you, your kids, your family, just overall loved ones that you keep around you. It's that love, that passion, and uh, that drive that keeps you going. Yes, like that. If you guys were with us, you will remember the wands are the fire or are the element of fire. Fire is yes, very cleansing, but it represents passion and love. All right, guys. So I think we're gonna start wrapping it up here. Rachel, it was so great having you on the show. Everyone else, don't forget to follow us on the Twitch. Don't forget to whisper as well. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at What's the Play app. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Leeboy_927. And don't forget to follow Rachel. Rachel, do you want to give them your handle one more time?
Instagram, Ray Kill.
Instagram, Ray Kill. All right. Rachel, it was so great having you on.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for taking your time and talking to me.
Of course, I'm so excited. It would be great to do this in the future. Guys, don't forget as well to join us at What's the Play, our Discord, because it would just be great. You can talk to Rachel and I as well in the general chat from time to time. It would be so nice to get to talk to our audience. And with that, I think we're good. We're gonna wrap up again. It was so great getting to talk to you, Rachel. Thank you everyone who showed up.